not showing enough of that stuff. You know what I get? You know what I'm saying?
We're live now.
We're live?
We're live. No, we're not live.
Oh, fuck. I was about to say, people are going to see, they're going to start disliking you and unsubscribing. Sorry.
I don't have enough people subscribe to me to really care, honestly. I would say these people... the concept now is moving from physical content to digital, and how eventuality, every concept dies. Kind of like the VHS got replaced by...
DVD.
There we go.
But DVD eventually got replaced. Basically, I know they still make DVDs. It's getting replaced by Blu-ray, very, very vastly. And then Blu-ray, at the same time that it's replacing DVD, digital content is replacing Blu-ray. So you have these people that are so nostalgic and attached to DVDs or Blu-rays, but at the same time you can download the digital content that is just as good, if not better, than Blu-ray.
Easy. It's easy. Everything is easier. I think it's just nostalgia. Deep down, it's nostalgia and what we grew up in. Because what were you just asking me? We were talking about Halo Wars 2. And because I'm a big Halo fan, obviously.
Yeah.
We were talking about how I would prefer, because they just announced 343 is siding, a Creative Assembly. They're siding with that THQ company. They used to make a lot of collector's editions. That company kind of fell apart. But the remnants of that company have come together, and they're helping to make a collector's edition with a physical case and everything for the game. And you were asking me why I would prefer that over the digital, but at the same time, why I'm okay with all my music being digital.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. So people are plenty okay with replacing their CDs with MP3 or anything digital music, right? Mm-hmm. Anything downloadable.
Yeah.
But they're all heartbroken over replacing their physical game disc with digital copies of their games.
It's part of the memory.
I get that. But part of the memory of music was records before it was cassettes.
Like vinyl.
Or 8-tracks.
Oh, like vinyl records and stuff.
So part of the music thing was, it was nostalgic with records before it was 8-tracks. And then it was 8-tracks before it was cassettes. And then cassettes before it was CDs. So what I'm getting at is, if CDs are still the thing with games and movies and music, why is everybody okay with replacing their CDs with digital copies of their music, but not with their movies or their games? That doesn't make sense.
Some people, it's the same with music, though. Don't you ever miss buying a CD? I'm not combating you, but it's kind of an interesting concept that I don't think I've really heard people talk about a lot. Or maybe they do, and maybe we're just hillbillies and don't know what we're talking about. People, like, I miss when I bought an album, the unique album art that came with whatever edition of that CD you got, and the signatures by the artist, the projections, their personal poems, and their personal thoughts, and their thank yous.
Okay, but people get that still with digital copies.
Not always.
Most of the time, most digital copies I buy, if you buy them.
Yeah.
You got to buy them.
Don't look at me. I'm not a pirate.
I'm not saying you are. What I'm saying is, people that don't get those things are people that don't pay for them, right?
Yeah, you should pay for them. I mean, it's
me and you, what do we pay for every month?
We pay for Google Play.
Google Play.
Not paid by them. I'm not nearly big enough to be paid.
We're not. But what I'm saying is, we pay for our Google Play music. We also get YouTube Red as an
free.
Incentive.
It's awesome, yeah.
It's an incentive on top of that. But when we download music off Google Play, we get the album art and other things with it, right?
Yeah.
So
some remixes of songs are available.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It all depends on how far. So if you're one of these people that are like, well, fuck buying the CD when I can get it for free because I can download it illegally. Well, then you're not going to get everything the CD offers. Yeah. Obviously, you're going to get the music, yes. And if you're just okay with the music and not the album art or the lyrics or the artist or whatever, then that's fine. But don't bitch about not getting that stuff if you're getting it free for downloading it illegal.
I get what you're saying. So it's almost I mean, it's not like we're perfect, but when it comes to products we like, there's almost a moral aspect. Like, some pirates can get their access on that stuff, but if you really like something like Halo, I spent hundreds of dollars with Halo. With Xbox, I've spent probably well over $1,000-something, and with PC, I've spent several $1,000s investing on the games, especially the hardware, software. Without getting way too off track, what I'm trying to say is, you should be okay with the changes as long as they contain the same perks, but the change that I was trying to talk about was mainly that even though it's a dying concept, the thought of giving these physical collector's editions, like they're starting to phase out the game disc in physical collector's editions. You get a code and a sheet instead.
Well, and you can still get that collector's edition without the disc, right?
Right.
I mean, the disc is the only thing that really doesn't matter in that whole edition.
Okay, yeah.
So you're still getting everything that comes with the collector's edition. You're just not getting the disc. Let's put it that way. So you get everything this collector's edition comes with. Instead of a disc, you get a code to download the game.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So does that make it better or just as good?
I think you fool yourself into thinking it's better. I think it's because it's what we grew up on, and it feels like the times are changing, but times change. We kind of have to accept that. So
me and this guy, we grew up in the VHS cassette era.
To you new millennials, that means we're old.
Oh, yeah, fuck you millennials. What I'm saying is, we grew up in the era where VHS and cassette was a thing. Like I was young when I got my first cassette player, right? I was probably 7 or 8 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
And I can remember, listening to my first cassette player, Backstreet Boys, whatever the fuck it was. I didn't care. I was 7 or 8. I just thought it was cool as fuck to have a little cassette player with some headphones that barely fit inside my ears, and they hurt like hell.
It was a cool gadget. The operation of the cassette was crazy. It was so new and advanced.
Best thing in the world.
Yeah.
I was in school when I was 7 or 8, and everybody thought Britney Spears was the hottest thing. And I had her CD in my new CD player with these shitty ass in the ear headphones that hurt my ears horribly if I left them in for more than 10 minutes.
And you did.
You did. You did.
Yeah.
You just did. But back to the point of what I'm saying is, even when I was a kid, I went from cassette to CD. I had no issues with it. Yeah, every time I carried around my portable CD player, if I took a step too hard, the fucking thing skipped.
Yeah.
But it was still cooler than that cassette player I had 2 years earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at what point do we let go of this nostalgia and just let it be nostalgia and move on to what's better for us?
When it's not available to us by force.
Because now you can buy a CD player, which isn't very good anymore. Still.
Actually, they're low. They seem like they're lower quality than what was put out and advertised in the past.
But you remember the Walkmans? You could walk with them and they wouldn't skip, kind of thing.
They're the shit.
Yeah,
they were the absolute shit. They're awesome.
But what I'm saying is, we got better stuff that plays CDs or DVDs now, or Blu-rays. But when do we accept that something's better than those? Digital. They are. We've accepted it with music. Why can't we accept it with games?
It's hard. And this is why. No. Let me show. That's why. Collector's editions. Because collector's editions are a part of it. And that will eventually go. But here's the thing. The beauty of it is, and this is where I can compromise with you. This is where I can agree with you. I'm okay with letting go of the disc. I bought Halo 5, which totally disappointed me, but that's not the point. It sucked. The story sucked. That's just my opinion. And you new millennials don't know where the veteran gamers come from. I'm sorry.
No,
garbage.
They don't.
The Halo game story is trash, but that's another video. What I'm trying to say... Yeah, exactly. Call of Duty died too. Just saying. So, what I'm trying to say, though, is the collector's editions and those things that I was talking about, they won't die. If they released that bit of bonus content and if they released it digitally, but I can still buy it and watch it from my Xbox directly, I'm okay with that. Just don't get rid of some of the experiences I had. It's the same reason that Halo is so different that people hate it. They didn't just update every concept. They changed the sounds, looks, and feel of the game and the controls and everything. They turned it into Call of Halo. So when you slightly update something, right? And Call of Duty is like becoming Call of Halo now. It's they're both doing the same thing.
And yeah, no, it's all becoming shit.
I'm digressing because I have ADD really bad.
Let's stick to the point.
But the point is, it's okay as long as if you keep the general core of what somebody loves the same. Offer the price and the package. Don't do the whole pay to win in games, and don't do music where you do subscriptions like Microsoft and then Photoshop and just different people are offering subscriptions to keep a yearly thing, and it's cheaper if you buy it years. No, I want to buy something and have it. But this stuff right here, as long as you offer some kind of trophy or incentive to show that we really give a fuck about what we're buying, that we really care about what we're doing, then yes, it's okay. And as long as they keep that, I think a majority of gamers will agree with me, or not. But I think a majority of gamers from our timeline will be like, it's okay. I'm willing to let go of the disc, but the reason that new Halo Wars news, that it's not been released yet or anything, because I'm pre-ordering that bitch. The reason it's a big deal is because CDs in general are dying. And so it's not dead yet. And it's kind of like a shout out to our nostalgia for the games, collector's editions, and coming with all the discs. It's just cool.
And I get that. That's what I get. But what I'm saying is, with the digital stuff,
yeah,
it's going to come to that point where game systems in general are just going to be a secondary computer.
Yep.
And we're going to start downloading stuff. And as long as they still offer, like, say you go online, you download this game, you pre-order the download for this game, they still send you that package, right? Whatever
container, case,
whatever it is, they still send you that
decorative art box.
But the game doesn't come on a disc; it comes in
Code
digital
sheet.
download. So let's put it this way: you pre-order the game, right? And you may get the stuff in the mail before the game comes or after it comes, whatever. But you get that game right at midnight when it hits.
Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where you're at, what day it is, if it's a holiday or not, you get that game downloaded as soon as it hits. So I think digital is gonna be better in that sense, right?
Yes.
So maybe Halo or Battlefield or Call of Duty is supposed to release on a certain date, right? But that date hits very close to a holiday where post office or whatever has a hard time getting it out to everybody right at that moment.
Yeah.
So you get it exactly when it's supposed to come out. So you're in the game as soon as everybody else is. There's nobody behind you or in front of you. You're just in it.
Yeah.
So, but you still get the package if you pay for the package. Obviously, you got to pay for it. I mean, let's be honest. You got to pay more for the special editions than the regular. So
I think as long as they still offer the option to have the special editions, and I think they should, because some people think it's silly to go get a collector's edition. When Halo Reach came out, as you guys see, I bought it. It cost over $100-something. I mean, and that is insane. Because yes, that money could be used for better things, but it was my money, and it's a statue of Noble Team. And, like, that was a big deal to me because I'm absolutely in love with the Halo story. This poor bastard has to listen to it all the time. But
hey, I grew up when Halo started. Let me put it out there that I was old enough to remember the first Halo. Like, not even like old enough like, oh, I was 5 or 6. No, bitch. I was there when Halo started, right?
Yeah.
I was there when LAN parties were a thing. I was there.
You had like 16 people in the same room and or house. Long-ass Ethernet cables. This was not an internet connection. You could literally scream at the guy across the room like, fuck you, Mike, and laugh. That is missing. But are you okay with letting go to that? You miss
I hate that.
You miss it.
I do miss LAN parties. But let's be honest, LAN parties are never going to be a thing again. The only way LAN parties will be a thing again is if people that were alive during LAN parties get together. That's it. Nobody's going to do them.
No.
Nobody.
There's few groups that were advertised. When I watched and a few of you that bought the Halo 2 limited edition that came with the steel case, the blue coloration Halo 2 symbol on it, you'll notice from the documentary, which I watched millions of times because I have no life, they showed specific groups that highly supported Halo 1 and 2, and they would talk about these LAN parties that they have, and they still do that. But one thing that the new Halos and just different games in general get rid of is split screen.
Really?
That's something you should not get rid of, I think. Yeah, they got rid of split screen. Halo is no longer, the newer Halo tiles are no longer split screen friendly.
So what do you do when you want to play with somebody in the same room?
You better get a game that's a cooperative, because that game is cooperative if you have more than one Xbox. You have an Xbox per person. Only way.
See, yeah. I'll say this. I was there when Halo started, and I was a huge fan for Halo 1 through 4, okay? But this guy's been following it his entire life, so I haven't kept up lately. I'll put it that way. I haven't kept up lately, so to me, that's disappointing. Disappointing that the split screen thing isn't there anymore. You have to have your own Xbox per person. Are you kidding me?
Everybody misses those tiny ass boxes with carnage and bitching at your buddy. Quit fucking watching my screen. That's
what LAN parties were about. That's what they were about. Having, 4 guys to a screen?
Yeah, you could say,
a boob tube. You remember? You guys probably don't know what boob tube is. Boob tube was what our grandparents had, and we played on until we got flat screens and LCDs and LEDs. That's what we had before that, okay? So we had this stupid heavy small TV with this outward curved screen, okay? Not this inward stuff that you guys are like amazed by now, okay? This thing was outward curved, and the pixels, you could see every pixel from a mile away. Okay?
We just became our grandparents.
Well, okay.
Missed the thing.
Sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
Perfect. This is perfect.
Listen,
this is exactly what we're talking about.
I'll be 30 years old this year, so fuck you guys.
In 5 years, I'll be the same.
But what I'm saying is, these guys don't know.
No.
Well, some of you might. Some of you might.
And it's not a bad thing.
Most of the guys watching this shit probably don't know.
And it's not a bad thing nor their fault. But
it's not.
It's great that you guys
born in a later time.
Started off in the age of new technology, but your all's technology you started with, one day, you're going to miss it too. And you're going to understand how we feel.
Well, no, they're going to understand the nostalgia behind it, right?
Yeah.
Like, even though our shit was shit, can you imagine playing Super Mario on a TV that was so shitty with a console that barely gave you any graphics?
A TV that weighed 120 pounds.
I can see the square on the pixel from this console from the other end of my house. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
You remember playing Super Mario?
Loved it. Yeah.
Some
of my first games
on a Super Nintendo.
The old NES and the Super Nintendo. Yeah. I still have one of them.
Even the N64, dude. Mario Kart. It was like square wheels rolling.
But it looks so good.
Even the N64, we were like amazed.
Think Super Mario 64, where you physically played as Mario.
I started out with a Super Nintendo, and now I have an Xbox One. Look, I could go back to a Super Nintendo and still have fun with it, but I would look back at it and be like, what the fuck was I doing?
Yeah.
Like, did I really think this stuff looked good? But I still have fun with it, because that's all part of my memories. But back to what we were saying, something about Halo, right?
Yeah, well, that's all part of it. I mean, we kind of jump from subject to subject, but
LAN parties. That's
LAN parties. You would literally, for example, my studio is a small white room, which I was lucky enough to have when we got this place. You would have people, for example, a person back here, two over there. Everyone would bring a TV. You would bring your heavy-ass TVs. People would stack them. You bring controllers. And you know what? For 16 people to play in one game, you needed 4 TVs and 4 Xboxes.
Thank you. Yes.
That was it.
So this is what you would have. So right now we're standing in what, a 24-inch TV?
It's but 27, yeah.
27-inch monitor, right? We were lucky to have a 19-inch TV, guys. 19-inch. And it was not curved in like this monitor is. It was curved out.
And it wasn't that thin. It was this thin.
Huge.
Notice my hands off screen?
So you would have 4 people on one of these things. You'd have one here, one here, one here, and one here. Right? And we're all trying to look on this 19-inch fucking piece of shit TV in one room. And I know you can't see it, but let's picture this. Okay, so you have one square here, one square, here, and then one...
The screen.
It was split in 4.
It was separated in 4s. And across the line, there was a line crossed.
So you have these people, like,
huddled
as close as they could in this room, watching this one 19-inch TV trying to play Halo. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And guys, we had the best time of our lives doing that.
Because you were there with people.
The best time. Like, so you'd have these 4 people on one little piece of shit TV, and then you have 4 people in the next room on the same piece of shit TV, and 4 people in the next one, and 4 people in the next one. That was the most you could fit in one LAN party.
Yeah. That
was it. 16 at a time. But that's what I'm saying is, you could have that many people on 4 piece of shit TVs, and we had the best time of our lives. Now you got kids bitching about being on these 55-inch screen TVs with the best internet.
I was waiting for this part.
And the best graphics, and they still want to bitch about how shitty the game is. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What do you mean the game is shitty? Guys, games are the best they've ever been. Period. Yeah. And we're complaining about them. Some of you know, but most of you don't know how shitty games used to be, and we made the best of them.
They were great. They were amazing, and that's where it started. So, and if you weren't born then, that doesn't make you any different or less of a fan. This is just to catch up the younger ones. I'm talking to you 12 and 13-year-olds who were in the same spot I was when I was first playing Halo, when I was young. Halo, I had Halo when it came out. I was a fan. I played Halo 2 online. I was playing days before the notorious group of people. There was hundreds of people playing online that refused to get off. They took turns playing online before the Halo 2 servers got shut off because Halo 3 had come out and Halo 2 was almost unpopulated. These guys got online with energy drinks, coffee. They were kids like we were, and they played nonstop to keep it alive. And the spirit was there. Halo 2 came back in the Master Chief Collection, though with too many fucking bugs. And
yes.
You get my point, though. You hold on to nostalgia. You can still have your nostalgia. People release stuff. Thank Geek's going to release stuff. Walk them in recreations. They created the Retron for Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, all the retro game consoles. Dreamcast, it's its own remake. Things will always come back in full circle, but moving with the times is important. You can't let go of things to the point where you want to quit and be depressed. I never want to stop being a gamer.
That's what we're saying. Me and this guy grew up in a time where games were shit, but we loved them.
Yeah.
We didn't know it. I mean, at the time we grew up, games were the best they'd ever been, right?
Yeah.
So you guys that are complaining and don't really know.
Yeah.
You're complaining for no reason.
Yeah.
I don't know how else.
And we might be rambling. We're off tonight. Where we've had a good night. We've had a little bit to drink. We've got to talk about the stuff, but it really clicks. Like in Halo 3, if you all remember, 4-screen co-op was taken away. That pissed off a lot of people. It went down to 2-player co-op per console, so you needed 2 consoles to play all 4 people. If you remember, I'm going to go off, but they'll understand.
Go off.
Halo 3 allowed 4 playable co-ops. Player number 1 played as our notorious and beloved Master Chief.
Wait a minute. Can they see? Let's bring the
that
camera.
poster.
Let's bring him to Master Chief.
Master Chief. Screw it. I got this Sam Healy fighting with him right now.
Let's show him. Let's bring him to because let's be honest. Most of these kids, they know Master Chief, but let's be honest.
This guy saved the Xbox.
Yes, these
from
kids,
the reign of PlayStation.
They did. No, this guy right here was the reason Xbox made it.
Yep.
Don't kid yourself. If it wouldn't have been for Halo, Xbox wouldn't be shit today.
Yep.
Let's be honest.
And that's another reason why so many people like me, young and old,
Well, hold on.
care about it.
These kids don't know this. They don't know that. They think Xbox has always been this great thing. Right?
No, it struggled.
No, Xbox would not have been where it is today without Master Chief.
Yeah.
Without Halo. Period. It would not be. You don't understand how much Halo did for Xbox.
There's a hidden story and a struggle behind every console and behind every company.
This is it, guys. I'm not kidding you. Let me get this.
This is a toy that a 25-year-old man owns, just for the record.
Let's put this for the record. Almost 30-year-old man loves this game. Okay, because this game made Xbox. I guarantee it did. If it wouldn't have been for Halo, Xbox wouldn't be shit today.
And that's kind of why we should care about the legacy.
And not even that. Let's be honest. You can say, well, no, Xbox would have made it. Fuck you. Microsoft is struggling today with its computers. It's not struggling with its Xbox. Why is that? Because of Halo.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah, Halo 5 sold well. The story was disappointing. 343 Industries will probably never see this, but this is from an old time. I love the game. I love the game so much that you guys can't even understand what you're making. When you make this game, you're not just making it for the teams that play professionally for money. You're not just making it for the new age fans. You're making this fucking game for people that grew up lonely and depressed. And this is pathetic, but I don't care. The fucking truth about Halo is that people of us that played it have memories attached to it.
We do.
And the fact that you've got something really near and dear to you. You can't just fork out a game that looks pretty in the graphics, but the gameplay sucks and the story sucks. Master Chief has no personality, but in 4, his story was beautiful. You take the characters away. You take their personalities away. You absolutely destroy Thelvadom's story. You make him weak and emotionless. You have fucking Keith David, who always voices a badass black sergeant in every movie he plays in, and he gets to voice the leader of the post-Covenant Supreme Commander. You have all these different things. Now it's all about Halo, I guess. No, but this is a big fucking deal.
We're getting into a lot of shit.
This is a big deal.
This podcast is not just specific. Okay, we've gotten into a lot of shit, right? Nostalgic. Let's name this podcast Nostalgia.
Yeah.
This is what this podcast is. It's nostalgia.
Yeah.
Okay. We've not only named how we feel about older or games in their earlier times.
Yeah.
But game systems in their earlier times. Fucking CDs, DVDs, what they were before then, what they will be after.
Yeah.
But this whole podcast is about being nostalgic about something. So let's get that straight. It's not only about being nostalgic, but it's also about accepting change too.
Yeah.
But with some things, it's hard to. I get that. It is hard. Like obviously with Halo.
That was avoidable, and you know it.
It was.
The story's shit.
I'm not saying it was, but
yeah,
what I'm saying is that's what this podcast is about, right?
Yeah.
It's about recognizing our nostalgia, and also recognizing that things come with change, regardless if we like the change or not. And some of you younger guys aren't going to understand this.
Care.
You're just not. You're not going to understand or care because you weren't around when the older things were around, right? So me and this guy, we saw Halo when it first started. We were there for it.
It was revolutionary.
We weren't just around and somebody introduced us to the first Halo. We were there when it started. Okay.
We saw the early E3 trailers before we really knew what E3 was.
E3 wasn't really a thing then.
No.
It basically just
wasn't really
started.
The E3 trailers, actually. I'm sorry. It was just...
Yeah, YouTube wasn't even a thing when the first Halo came out. It wasn't. YouTube didn't come out until what? In
2005, I think.
2005.
I think, yeah.
Or 6. 2005 or 6, YouTube came out.
I should know that.
But what I'm saying is, we started Halo when Xbox started. That's when Halo started, guys. By the way, maybe what, a year after Xbox came out, Halo came out?
Yeah.
Maybe. Or maybe it came out closer to that. But what I'm saying is, me and this guy were there when Xbox and Halo started. I can remember getting my first Xbox, and the first game I got for my Xbox, not Xbox 360 or Xbox One, Xbox, just Xbox.
Keep talking.
I got Halo. That was my first game I got with my Xbox. Guys, you can't understand what it means to follow a game when it starts until you're there when it starts. Okay?
And they will be.
You can be born after a game starts and start from the first game. You can't understand what it means to start when a game starts until you've been there.
There's too many old consoles in my closet, so I'll have to do that later.
Well, that's another podcast. But what I'm saying is, you can't appreciate Halo if you weren't there when it started. You can't.
They want to. I think they can, but I think that they need to know where it's been to see where it is now. The full journey.
Let's
it's a
do
great
this.
journey.
Let's do this, because I feel like almost, and no offense, guys, but I feel like almost we've gotten off track on where this whole podcast began.
I made it about Halo. That was selfish.
We kind of both did. I did. I know I did. But this guy definitely knows more about Halo than I do. But even so, I was still there when it started. I promise you. I religiously was there from 1 to 3. I promise you that.
Yeah. Golden Age.
Yeah,
the golden age of Halo.
It was too. Trust me. The first one especially, 1 and 2, hands down to me. And I haven't kept up with it lately, but 1 and 2, hands down to me, was the best ones. Period.
Yeah. And we're not trying to put down anybody listening to this, because honestly, I think most people that are listening to this are either really bored at work and or home, or you're similar to us in that age group. And if you are younger, I'm glad you have patience. Not many people will probably listen to this, but what I can tell you guys right now is that the point of us making this, I'm not sure if it'll be on video, probably just be an audio clip, but the point I'm trying to make is that everybody has some kind of form of entertainment, whether it be music, movie, film industry, or the video game industry, that they don't dislike. They love. And it's to the point where I think I might be a little crazy, because that painting behind me, right above me right there, of the Arbiter and the Chief, it was inspired by Halo 3. And that was made by a girl that goes to different Comic-Cons, and she uses the money by selling those. That was $10. Well worth it, well painted, and it's not a copy. She paints them all individually. And she uses those to go to the different cons to meet other Halo fans. And I knew more about the Halo lore than her, but she knew more about the history of Bungie. And she educated me well on the company that made it, the old company, which moved on to different things. But I love Halo. I actually care about it. I want it to profit and to stay alive, and I want the company to stay alive. And there is true that a lot of good things come to end, but not all bad things necessarily come to end. They transform, or they move on, as nerdy as that sounds, or they update themselves. And my big problem about that tangent earlier is not that I hate the new Halo games. I bought the Halo 5 collector. I bought all the collector's editions. And it's not like, hey, look at me. I worked hard for the money that I bought those for. And it's something that I love. Now I can show off. But the point I'm trying to make here is that it's okay to change things and move on to better things. But you don't change something to where you're like, this is like a brand new game with a totally different story. Halo 5 does not deliver an accurate Halo game. And I mean, I got a little emotional, and some people are probably like, what puss? But I care about it so much. I run a Halo page. We're called San Healy. It's the actual name for the Halo page. I help run it. Our lead's name, she does an amazing job. And I realized how much I loved Halo when I became a part of that social media page, and how much people care about it. There's tons of fans on there that comment and just let us know what they like and what they miss. And for the most part, people our age from our group that were back there during the golden age have silenced themselves and stopped playing until recently. I did a game night and found nothing but people our age with the same state of mind, and we all went back and played Halo Reach and custom games. Custom games were the shit back in the days of games, and I'm not saying that we have to go back to the old ways. Just don't get rid of them. Update things, move things on, but keep the core the same. If you took the Lord of the Rings books, if you took the Harry Potter's books, if you took Game of Thrones, if you took anything and remove that core value, that thing that makes it Halo, or that thing that makes it Call of Duty, because Call of Duty did have its core values. Their characters were wonderful, in my opinion.
It did. It lost that.
I miss it. It's just generic.
Let's be honest. Call of Duty tried to get way too futuristic with shit.
They should have relapsed in World War II. They
lost themselves after the second Black Ops.
You want to know what they lost themselves in?
Comment if you guys don't agree, but I'm serious. Those guys lost themselves after the second Black Ops. They did. And
the money. You know what made Black Ops still fun for us? Because we played it together.
Well, the first Black Ops was awesome. Second one was still good.
But it was starting to change drastically. It was
starting to change there.
Yeah.
But after the second Black Ops, those guys, they just...
We're doing this now, so let's just do it. Let's change. It'll be new, and they'll love it.
This is going to be a fad now. Are you ready? That's it.
Yeah.
All right. But they lost themselves after the second Black Ops. They just did. Period. After that, they went to shit, dudes. Look, I haven't bought a Call of Duty game, basically. What was the last one? Advanced Warfare?
Infinite Warfare just came out a while ago.
Advanced Warfare.
Before that, yeah.
Was the last one I bought.
I sold my copy.
And I hated it.
Sold it.
Hated it.
Right away.
I bought Advanced Warfare. I hated it. Didn't buy Infinite Warfare.
Well, I think it's funny.
You know what I bought? Battlefield 1.
You know what's a good game?
Battlefield 1.
You know what you should play?
Battlefield 1.
Just saying.
Battlefield 1.
Just throwing it out there. And we don't always have time to play, but when we do, we die a lot. But you know what we do? You know what we have? It's a 3-letter word that you guys...
Fun!
Yeah, we have fun.
Fucking fun!
Yeah, it's great.
So, listen, guys. Call of Duty fell off. Battlefield, I'll say this. I've had them before, okay? I had them before Battlefield 1. I had 2, 3... I didn't have 4. I had 2 and 3 before Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
And
2 was Bad Company, right?
That's when I was still buying Call of Duty too. So I bought those and Call of Duty at the same time. Can't remember what Call of Duties were coming out when those came out. But what I'm saying is, when I was buying those Battlefields, yeah, they're way harder online. They just are. They are. But I had more fun with those Battlefields than I did the Call of Duties. Yeah, you can get on Call of Duty and get kills all day long because it's so easy and futuristic. You got all these abilities on Call of Duty, but with Battlefield, you just have this realistic aspect of it.
You die a lot.
You do. You die a lot. But there's something realistic about Battlefield that Call of Duty can't take over.
Battlefield kept its core, the damage, the way you get hit. You want to know? Well, I would tell you the betrayal about Call of Duty, about Activision, and all of them, because I actually care about Call of Duty. Is why I'm saying this. That's what bothers me. It's silly to get. People can say it's silly to get emotional about stuff when other things in the world that are worse are happening. But you should care about the stuff that entertains you because it makes you happy. But getting into it, everyone does, and so entertainment helps us digress that, take that away, and you escape. And video games were an escape for me when I actually was kind of a sad and depressed kid. I was like, whew. Had to cut there for a second, guys. Just giving a shout out to my stepfather for doing what he didn't have to do. One of my one ways with coping with loneliness, which is something we all deal with, but you have to fight to learn to adapt from it because you don't have to be alone. And video games was there to at least sedate the loneliness. And it feels good to say that. Like, it actually makes me feel kind of strong. for saying it because you wouldn't believe how many people play video games and just want to escape from their day-to-day lives. And it seems weak. Maybe it is. Maybe we weren't tough enough growing up. But I can tell you one thing that I was a good person. And I can honestly say that. And everybody in my life, for the most part, was. But I used it to sedate it. And that's when I got Halo 1. And it seems silly. And it may have next to nothing to do with the game. But the story got me involved that I finally read my first book by choice. And that was Halo, Fall of Reach. So, didn't mean to get emotional. I'm sorry. But,
You're emotional. You're manly as fuck about this.
No, it's just...
Hey,
it's just...
let me tell you what. This guy taught me how to be a man.
No, I did not. This dude knows more about being a man than I do. It's just...
You taught me.
But I don't know. I am what I am, guys. On my YouTube channel, I'm not going to make a lot of cuts. I'm just doing it because it's fun, it's entertaining, and I like talking to you guys that have similar views. I give a shit about a gaming industry, and I don't want to see it fall prey to money and corporate business. When corporations own everything, you have a fascist country. You want to know what else was a fascist country? Nazi Germany.
Take another drink for your old cup.
Yeah, I need to.
You guys didn't hear that, right?
Yeah. The point is, from an older version of you, we care about you guys. We want you guys to know the history of gaming. We want you to know the history of entertainment, and
we care. Listen, we have our nostalgia, right? We do.
Yeah.
From CDs to disc games to DVDs, we have our nostalgia. Okay, we do. And that's something that'll never leave us. But we also understand that CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, whatever you want to call them, games, they're all taking their step into the digital realm.
Yeah.
We understand that. We accept it.
Yeah.
We accept it because we know that that's the better way to go, right? We're not those...
In the transition, we went from having the shitty way of having things downloaded to easy.
You can't understand what we did with the fucking Super Nintendo, okay? Some of you will. Some of you do. But you younger kids that have never had to take a cartridge, bang it against your hand, and then blow in it, and put it back in the console...
Which was marked on the cassette, you do not blow on the disc. That was the only way to clean it.
No, bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck that. But y'all don't understand that because we did that, right? Put it back in the game console, and then it would play. How many times did you have you put a cassette into the game console? It didn't play, and then you had to take it out.
Hundreds. Nearly thousands. I played a lot of games as I was a kid.
That's what we had to do sometimes to play the games, right? Now you guys are just downloading them or putting a disc in the tray and everything's okay. What I'm saying is, don't let that kind of stuff hold you back from going to what's better. Because we were willing to accept what's better because we were tired of fucking blowing in cassettes
and coughing afterwards.
Yes. No, that's what I'm saying. We accepted that.
Yeah, change is good in a lot of ways, and you see my emotion. There are two types of change, though. There's change for the benefit, and there is change for a hope of a predicted benefit. Now, change for the benefit this is an example of it, and I'm going to use a version from two types of genres. One, Halo, obviously, because I'm obsessed with it, because I know life. And number two, I'm going to let you name one after me. Think of a change in a game genre that went from one game to the other that was big, even if it's a little thing, such as split screen or something changing, but it was good. And then we'll name one that's bad. From Halo, one thing that changed that was really good, and I honestly feel this way, was how the game went from being just a classic shooter with mystery, and then all of a sudden Halo 2 introduced this story with these world phenomenal actors and just how they created so much. They took this little orb that says, "Hey, this is our story," and then they exploded it and says, that epic voice you don't hear, you just Halo, and everybody can think of something from the game.
Well, see, that's where I started though.
Yeah.
So it's not, my answer isn't going to be much different from his. That's where I started.
Well, then there's our example. That's fine. That's our example. So then we can probably come to a conclusion on the same change. One big change that was a negative that everybody hated but bitched about but dealt with because they couldn't change it was when it went to Halo 2 was an Xbox, and then Halo 3 was a 360 exclusive.
Yeah.
At first, I mean, and then you had it there, but then the one thing that people noticed when playing multiplayer with their friends, because everybody was still LAN partying back then, with this guy was like, well, shit, you can only put 2 people on per console. Split screen got dumbed down to only 2 people per console, as opposed to 4, at least on Halo 3, and because of that, people were like, well, that. Why would you introduce something 1 minute, but then instead of make it better, the next you take it away? You're going backwards with progress and not forward. You don't go backwards, disappoint your fans and say, well, we couldn't support it with our new technology. You got a more powerful fucking console. There's no reason you can't fucking support it. It's an excuse because they're busy, and I applaud game developers, film industry makers, singers even, though some of them are spoiled. I applaud a lot of people for the progress that they make, but don't sell out and don't make shortcuts for the sake of a budget. People hated Steve Jobs. I'm not a big Apple fan. This guy is not really at all. We're Android people through and through, and this guy made me one.
Steve Jobs was a good kid. He got it all started, right?
Yeah.
Basically. Android didn't come until after Apple.
Yeah.
But in the long run, I'm an Android dude, period. I'll never be anything but Android.
But what was Steve Jobs' strength? People hated working with him. He would not take a shortcut to sell a shitty product. They're like, well, we don't have to run it across. We can just run it straight across. He's like, well, I don't like the design because the design looked like shit. He didn't want anything to look bad. iPhones don't look bad. Their interface is clean. As you introduced, I had a friend. There was this point in time where I finally got a smartphone. And in my early 20s, only a few years ago did I have my first smartphone. And it was between my one good friend, Nate, shout out to you if you ever hear this, and, I don't know where you are. Hope you're okay. We love you. But, and then my good friend, my buddy here, who thankfully to a job we had together, our friendship rekindled. But me and Mike here, he talked me into Android and going that way. And now I love the customization. I love the abilities. And Apple's great too. I may have went with Apple, but I like freedom, which is why I prefer PC over Apple computers. I don't know, it's just how I prefer it. But without getting too far of the subject, what I'm trying to say is that change is good if it is good for the people. It's not good if it is good for the maker. The maker doesn't deserve to be easy. The maker doesn't get to say, oh, I don't want it to be hard on me. It doesn't fucking matter.
Well, I'll be honest. Yes, digital is great for the people because it brings stuff to us sooner, right?
Yeah.
It does. We don't have to travel to a store to buy a disc.
Yeah.
Or we don't have to order it online and wait for it to come in the mail. So digital is better in that aspect. Like if I wanted to, I could go on my Xbox right now and order the digital copy of Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah.
And it's immediately mine. I didn't have to drive nowhere for it. I didn't have to
wait for it in the mail.
Nothing like that. So it's good for us in that aspect, but it's good for the makers in the aspect that they don't have to make that physical copy of it, right?
Yeah.
So they're just selling us a bunch of numbers through a computer. That's what they're selling.
I'm actually okay with that.
I mean, I am too, but now they're not putting any cost into the physical form of it. They're just putting cost into the numbers of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it works better for them, but it works better for us too, guys. It just does. We're getting something faster that we want in return, and they're getting something more in return than they wouldn't have if they would have made physical copies of it.
Yeah.
So,
I really need a poster for right there.
So what I'm saying is, yeah, that'll be edited out. Fuck it.
I know.
Let's end it on this note, okay? Times are going to change. We're not always going to be happy with them, but we're always going to accept them. That's just part of it, okay? We're gonna always reflect back on the nostalgia of things, but we're not always gonna be happy with it. But at the end of the day, we have no choice but to accept it.
And you know what? You do have a voice. If you want things to change, you don't attack people that make the stuff. Talk to them. Start petitions. I started a petition about Halo. You let them know what you don't like and what you do, so you can help steer the ship.
What I'm saying is, it's not that, not just
like physical to digital change.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Sorry.
I'm not talking about like the way games change in their persona, right?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the way Halo has changed in its story.
You're talking about media products. And
I'm talking about, we went from fucking records to 8-tracks to cassettes to CDs to we went to VHS to DVDs to Blu-rays. Now, let's be honest, guys. Most things are digital, even games. PlayStations, back when they first started, Nintendo was the only thing using cassettes.
Yeah.
PlayStation was the first console that came out that started the whole CD type game. Okay? If you would have took a PlayStation while it was playing a game and you shook it a little bit, I guarantee you would have skipped that game. What I'm saying is, we've got to let go of this whole having a physical copy of something thing, because it's not going to be around forever. So basically, if you're one of those people, you have to have a physical copy of something.
We get that.
You're going to be one of those people that when everything moves to digital, you still have a room full of VHSs that aren't worth shit because people don't make VHS players anymore.
Yeah.
They don't. So and trust me, I'm very nostalgic when it comes to my VHS tapes. Land Before Time.
Yeah.
Fucking...
Well, The Rock on VHS and just different stuff, right?
The Rock, the Beauty and the Beast,
The Edge.
All my Disney movies when I was a kid that were on VHS.
Remember how excited you got when I told
Aladdin?
you? Remember, right in the closet with all my consoles, I told you I had a VHS player, and he freaked out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm nostalgic as fuck about that stuff. I love that stuff, right? But I'm not broken over it. Let's let it go.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand there's better stuff. Let's let it go, guys. We gotta let the game stuff go. And I'm not saying, oh, yeah, everybody's gonna be like, yeah, obviously movies have moved on to the digital age. Let's let that go. Nobody's gonna disagree with me on that. What people are gonna disagree on is moving games from disc to digital.
Yeah.
That's what people disagree. That's what this whole thing was about, okay?
They're having a hard time with it. People like myself, admittingly,
that's what I'm saying.
Hate it.
Let's let that go, because everything else has. Let's be okay with games going that way. I've half of the games I have are digital on my Xbox.
Yeah,
they just are, and it's not because I wanted them to be. It was because I was in my bedroom, in the comfort of my bedroom, in my underwear. And I was able to buy this game, digital copy, without going and driving and wasting my gas to the store and buying it.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
So in a way, this video's just as much for gamers our age as it is for the newer age, new millennial gamers and younger millennial gamers. Really, this is for everybody, and this is kind of a ramble. And if you listen to this point, you're either wanting to bitch about everything you heard, or you feel a similar way. And I didn't mean to, like, that cut in the video we made, I didn't mean to get like in a certain way, but if you're a gamer in any sort of way, you've got certain moments in the gaming industry, whether it be for a game or the media or the change, and not even just gaming, music in general, film industry just in general. But I guess the rant we're trying to talk about is change is good. Nostalgia and why change is good.
Thank you.
Yep.
High five.
Yep, that was horrible. Bam! We'll just backhand each other. That's what a drunk high five looks like. It takes 5 tries.
We're not drunk.
No.
Oh shit! Something actually poured out.
No, you're good, brother. It's easy to clean. The point is, there'll probably be like 5 people. There'll probably be like 1 or 2 people that listen to the whole thing. But
but it doesn't matter.
Somebody will slip up and watch this later.
This was for us.
Yeah, it feels good to talk about it. Now you know. You, Mike, now Peacemaker here knows how much I care about Halo, and it's probably a little scary.
Let's put this on.
Isn't it?
Yeah, my first name's Mike. Fuck it. You'll never know who I am, though.
Nobody really knows my name. What do most people call me, though?
The badass.
No, it's the nerd. Just the geek of the group. Look, if you guys want things to change and to be steered in a certain direction that you believe is better, you have to say something and do something about it. You can't sit and bitch and hope that someone takes your bitch and delivers it. Quit being lazy. I started a petition for Halo 6 to bring elites back to multiplayer. And this is not just me advertising, yeah, I want you to help if you want to, but this is a point. I'm one person. With less, I've got nearly 250 subscribers on YouTube, which is tiny. I probably won't ever get big. That's okay. It's a hobby for fun. I love it. But I did that on my own, just through a Facebook page. I haven't put it anywhere else, just on Facebook, on my Halo channel called San Healy. And I have gotten 250, nearly the same amount of subscribers as I have, to people to sign this specific petition. You start a petition or start saying stuff about stuff like that, like anything. You know what happened when a dog was mistreated and somebody wanted it to change? They made a petition about it. You want to know how many people signed that petition? Over 9 million. The shit got answered. But with good change, acceptance is okay. And I promise you, if you guys like to buy retro nostalgic shit, you can go on thinkgeek.com. GameStop owns ThinkGeek. You'll be able to get your nostalgia. There's always going to be stuff available on Amazon and eBay. But as far as change goes in general, for the modern world, it's good. So, yeah, this is pretty much just covering everything we just said. So, nostalgia and why things change.
That's it.
Yep.
That's this video, guys. Or podcast, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it'll be a podcast and a long one that not many people listen to, but it's mainly for us to vent. There's a lot of history with media and entertainment, and Halo helped me grow up a little bit. It helped me realize why reading is good. It helped me realize why a story is good, and it helped me realize what it feels like to care about a character in a book. Like, Master Chief's not a real person, but I care about the characters. So, future rants, I guess.
We got a lot of them coming.
Yeah.
Lots of them coming.
They'll be more specific. This was just our first.
Yeah, we were just rambling.
Yeah.
That's all this was, guys.
Yeah.
Listen, there's no real point to this whole video. I mean, there is with the nostalgia thing, but there isn't. So let's not dog on what the point of this video was. Let's just let it be what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
With that said, thanks, guys, for listening or watching. Whatever you did.
Yeah. We appreciate the time.
We poured our hearts out in this video, kind of.
And that'll probably be worse in the future. We're pretty emotional people when it comes to the entertainment we care about. But, guys, I just appreciate you stopping by. I'm a small guy. I'm not big on YouTube. I don't plan to be. But what I like being is a part of the YouTube community because I care about it. And I love the Halo fans that feel the same way about me, and the people in the gaming industry that feel the same way about me. You're real people, and I care about you guys. I really do. And for those of you that tuned in, I'm Euclid Gamer, and this is Peacemaker. And we'll see you guys in the next video and podcast. Peace.
need to know.